Talk to me a little bit about the AMEREN rate increase. It just seems like it wasn't that long ago that we were talking about a previous rate increase, and now they're back.
So let's see where we are now. A company that made tens of millions of dollars in a very troubled economy now has come back, and despite huge profits, wants more money from the Illinois consumers. And Illinois consumers that are struggling to pay for expenses, that are struggling to make ends meet, that are struggling to keep their jobs, that are looking for new jobs because of layoffs, are now being asked to pay more and more by a company that's making tens of millions of dollars from them. I think that's wrong. Let's take a more global approach, or global look at this as well, and just remember, it wasn't very long ago that the Illinois legislature forced the Illinois utilities to pay money into a settlement of $1 billion. Even though AMEREN was in large part responsible for the debacle that led to that $1 billion rate payment, they only contributed $150 million of that $1 billion. Most of it was paid by Exelon from the northern part of the state. So even though they paid $150 million, now they came back a year or two ago and asked for $200+ million, and now they want over $100 million. So they're asking for more back than they actually paid into the settlement. I think that's wrong. I think it ought to be stopped. I think the ICC needs to be a watchdog and not a lapdog, and just say no. This
gets back to, there was another bill that dealt with the ICC, and I think the ICC has come out looking like they don't do very much. They're inefficient, or asleep at the switch, or I don't want to say in bed with the power companies, but that the relationship there is too close. Is this a regulation problem here in Illinois, or is this an example of one company wanting to get as much as they can?
Well, I think in large part it's been a regulatory problem, because the Commerce Commission has the opportunity to stop these things. They can just say no. And in the past, they've either given them what they wanted, or sometimes more than they asked for. They've deviated from their judges' recommendations in the past in favor of the utility companies and against the Illinois consumers. The Illinois Commerce Commission is supposed to look out for the best interests, the public interests of the state of Illinois, and that includes consumers. And I don't believe they've been doing that. Now, Governor Quinn, who is a friend of Illinois consumers, who helped create the Citizens Utility Board, has made 2 recommendations for the ICC. I'm hopeful that the new direction that the ICC is looking to take under the leadership of Governor Quinn will help get this ship pointed in the right direction.
Last time we were talking about a rate increase from AMEREN, there's horror stories of people with all-electric heat down in southern Illinois who were getting priced out because it was a cold winter or a warm summer, and then bills were hundreds and hundreds more. Has that situation improved? Have you heard anything from the people who are going to have to pay these?
Yeah, actually, I've gotten a lot of support from my public outcry and outrage once again. I think people don't feel any differently than they did 3 years ago or 4 years ago when the power wars began. They're still hurting, and in fact, in many cases, they're hurting worse. And they can't take higher electric costs. And so I think that the changes we made in terms of people getting money back, they were shocked that the government actually worked for them, that they actually got refund checks, and they got checks in southern Illinois. And I think they've also been pleasantly surprised that the structure of the Illinois Power Agency that we put in place has been effective and has worked in that regard as well, helping to lower costs. But they also want us to hold the line and say, okay, we've done some good things, but let's not back up now and let them come back and get back everything that we took away from them.
Last question on this. I thought the Power Authority, Power Agency, I thought it was supposed to solve all of this and drive the costs down.
Well, remember, it has in terms of buying power. It's done its job, and that's the reason that the bills have been okay up to this point. But the Commerce Commission, we wanted to actually put the Commerce Commission regulatory powers in the Illinois Power Agency, and that was blocked by the former president of the Senate, as you recall, and others. And so we were unable to do that. So the Power Agency simply acquires power. The Illinois Commerce Commission is still the agency that has to say yes or no to rate increases.
Anything else?
No.
Thanks.